Hello everyone, I am Cheryl, aka Funny Godmother, and we're here for a very special Let's Play with the new Oceania expansion for Wingspan, provided by the company, because they noticed I play it a lot on Twitch. I am a Twitch streamer and a game developer and a user experience designer, author. I'm also a director of user experience for the player platform Riot Games, but that's not why we're here. They just like us to make sure that we tell people that. But the folks shared this copy of the review game because I think they looked at the logs of who's been playing Wingspan on Twitch, and they noticed that we play it quite a lot because my community, the Magic Mafia, really enjoys it when we play Wingspan and we confuse Nightbot with all of the very silly bird names that ordinarily would not be approved terminology, because it's good fun for the whole family when you're talking about the Great Tit, right? But I myself am a birder. I love birds, loved them for a long time. Goldfinches are favorites. You know, in California we have more lesser goldfinches, but we also have American goldfinches. Have both in my backyard right now. Very exciting times. Win condition for me in the game is whether or not I can get a goldfinch onto my board, regardless of whether or not I'm the winning player. But that's neither here nor there. We're here for the new expansion pack. And if you have the board game, you may have already seen this gameplay before, because the Oceania expansion is one of the many expansions for Wingspan. And if you've been playing Wingspan a lot, they have like a big, huge, specialized box for all the expansions now. And the digital version, they're working to catch up. But this one was much more significant than the European expansion. This one comes with a board change, comes with core mechanic changes. It's not just new birds and some new goals. And that's why we're here today. I'm going to be playing through the tutorial because you need to know about the new everything. And then we're going to play through a sample game so you can see how things go. Right? You ready to go on this journey with me? I hope so. I hope you got your binoculars or your beverage of choice. And let's go embark on this birding journey together, shall we? All right, let's do it. Now, this expansion is inspired by the more tropical regions of the world, and so you'll notice that a lot of it, you know, Oceania is really referring to a lot of the island nations, but also like Australia, and so you'll see that there's like some parrots and like kiwi up in there. It's a very different aesthetic than what we've had in the North America and European expansions. But let's get into it. Nice to see you again. We're set for an exciting adventure in Oceania. Oceania, every time I say it, I'm questioning myself. Am I saying it correctly? I don't know. It's one of those words like anemone where even if I know I'm saying it right, I don't know if I'm saying it right. So we're just gonna travel ahead. So let's go to the habitat overview down here, and you can tell there's already some things going on here because there's a lot. It's a lot of icons. And the birds agree. They agree that something's going on, something non-normal. We've got new boards with new habitat actions, and the second leftmost slot now comes with an improved action. This very specific one. One thing I want to point out for folks who have played this game a long time, if you've been playing a long time, you may notice that like the ramp here has already changed. Whereas I used to always like gun for the forest and try to get 2 birds in because you needed to get to like 2 slots filled before you could get 2 food on one action. But you can see here that's changed, so you get 2 food on after the first bird, which is a really big ramping change. There are other ramping changes as well, so pay close attention when the board is not covered. So there's these things here where some of the slots have new economies, sort of, where you can spend resources for more things. Here's like a bird feeder reset. Here's, you can spend a bird for more food. There's like all kinds of things going on there. Bonus conversions where you're like, yeah, so there's lots of converting things back and forth. And then there's nectar. So, and the birds are excited about that too. As is this bird, the superb lyrebird, clearly the star of the show. And we need to switch ourselves over so you can see this bird doing the absolute most. Yeah, look at that guy. Just yeah, doing all of it. It's like the tail is weighted and he's doing weightlifting. Anyway, that's not why we're here. It's to observe how great he is. But, yeah, sometimes you click and there's sound, but this guy's not. He's the silent type. It's fine. So each player starts with 1 nectar in their supply. It's wild food that can take the place of any other type of food. You can't use it in one case where activating a bird's power that uses a particular type of food, like the bird needs fish in their power. And then, at the end of every round, the nectar expires. And if you've had a hummingbird feeder, we are pro nectar here. We love our hummingbirds, but you have to monitor hummingbird food. It goes bad. If it gets moldy, it's not great. So you got to be rotating through it on a fairly regular basis. So nectar expires in this game as well. It reflects, art imitates life. And it expires at the end of every round, so you can't hoard it. So place the gray warbler here. We're going to spend some nectar. Yep. We're going to spend this egg. And now we see that there's all kinds of stuff going on that didn't used to happen on the left-hand side. We've got these pink spots, this nectar count things, and there's stars on stuff. So this is telling us that apparently we have spent 4 nectar in this habitat. We jumped to the tutorial halfway through, so we don't remember spending the 4 nectar, but you can see they must have spent 3 nectar on this bird and then another on that bird, so just nectar for days. And at the end of the game, you receive extra points for every habitat where you spent more nectar than other players. We're rewarding depleting the resources of the habitats or something, right? The flowers make more nectar. It's fine. We just want our birds to be happy, and they like nectar, right? Hummingbirds are great. Even though the hummingbirds have not been eating nectar this whole time in the other 2 expansions, it's fine. So the stars mean whether or not you're in the lead, and this is one of those places where having the digital copy of the game is a lot better than having the paper copy of the game, because in the digital copy of the game you gotta do this math. You gotta watch and kind of look at your partner's board, count how many of the little nectar tokens are there. But here it's just gonna show you, it's showing us that we're winning there. And then also here it's a half star, so we're tied with someone else, so someone else also has 2 nectar, and that is the top. So one other player must have 1 or 0 nectars spent in the sea habitat. So the gray warbler wants us to play this bird. Oh, that bird has an opinion. Okay. I mean, half of the fun of the game is the sounds here. So that's a journey we're going on together. Keep in mind when playing a bird, you can spend food as if 2 food as if they're 1 nectar. So this bird specifically requires nectar. Now, ironically, we have nectar, but we're going to spend 2 berries instead of nectar because we're just, we're just making it rain. I don't know why we would do that. So it wants us to draw this card. And then, the Oceania expansion hits with the complexity. It wants you to do sets. It wants you to do conversions. It wants you to be present and in the moment, and like additional strategy. It wants this for you. So this sets of a 4 nest type, and this, I don't know what's been going on in this game, but apparently I've been playing sets because I have 2 complete sets that already have 8 victory points on this card. Doing great. But it wants me to discard a whole bunch of nectar in this example to draw more cards. So let's do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the funny thing here is none of these are as good as this mechanical engineer one, but we have but these are apparently the 5 new ones that come with this expansion pack. Columns with a matching pair or trio of nests. So this one's very interesting because different columns can give you different numbers of points, and you could go as far as like 12 points for the one card. This one maxes out at 8. Consecutive birds. The consecutive ones seem very hard. That just seems like so much foresight. Like you just, it's a lot. But we're gonna go with mechanical engineer because that's the one that we already have points for. It's just the best choice. Bam! Comes with new end of round goals. And one that's no goal. They just sort of decided, you know what? I'm just going to take a moment. Take a moment and breathe. And if you get the no goal, and it's not the last one, future rounds get a bonus action cube. Now you may be saying to yourself, what happens if it's the last one? I may or may not be able to confirm that nothing happens and you don't get any bonus ones. How do I know that? We're not going to talk about that. Did I record something that didn't have audio? No, that didn't happen. No, this is definitely the first time that this has happened. There's a few more features. Let's do this. They want us to reset the bird feeder with this wheat bird feeder. Now we see new dice. We quickly see that it's advantageous to draw nectar. Always nectar. I love the sound of the nectar. The nectar sound is A+ chef's kiss. Bloop. It makes you want to draw more nectar. Superb lyrebird. Its ability allows us to copy the ability of any bird from the previous player's forest. So that's the previous player. That's the next player. So we're going to go to the kiwi bird. And we're going to copy this bird. We're going to draw. And so what it's telling us is that the eagle's ability from a different... So this... You know, a lot of the things in this game, you can draw parallels to nature. This is where things get a little fuzzy because we're borrowing a power from another bird. So this lyrebird watched an eagle. It's like, great, that eagle's really good at hunting. I am going to try hunting. Lyrebird does this and finds an emu, and it has, you know, this mechanic is the emu has no wings, so it has asterisk wings. So its wings can be any size you want for any of the size goals that we just looked at. Or in this case, any of the, you know, carnivore tests where it's like bird this big or that big. But for me, there's also the question, how did the lyrebird hunt this creature? Because it looks kind of big. Like, is this like a misery situation? Like there was stalking and he lured the emu into like a shack or something. I don't know how watching the eagle and taking his power led to the lyrebird capturing the emu. But that's, I think, what's happening here. So flightless birds have an asterisk. That means it's wild, so it always passes the check. Takes on any value. We have successfully hunted the emu. Goodbye, emu. Heartbreak. Yeah, so that's the implication, that the lyrebird has hunted the emu. Somehow. Magic. And there you see it. It's a tuck card. Don't ask questions. Now we're going to jump to the final round. That's a lot of bird wing sounds. We're on the last turn of the game's last round. We're going to draw a card. It has very specific opinions about what we do. We want to draw birds. We want to spend a wheat and reset the tray. Wants us to take all of the Oceania birds here, so it wants us to spend extra nectar so that we can draw all 3 of these birds. So we have a new end of round goal. It is beaks pointing right. So we have several different ways of satisfying beak goals. And what's fun is they ended up putting icons in addition to the pictures because the pictures apparently weren't clear enough. There are 4 different types of beaks pointing. You might think that it's just beaks pointing right and beaks pointing left, but if you look down here, there's also no beak pointing, and then there's also multiple beaks. So, what does that mean? Okay, what does that mean? Activate, yes, fine. So, that's all fine. That bird's pointing that way. So no beak actually means that the bird is dead center. Bird knows where its audience is. Bird knows where its camera is. There is no pointing beak. It's right there. And then multiple bird beaks means you get bonus bird. I wonder how many birds like that are in the deck. Anyway, we're going to do laying of an egg. And then we are done because this is the last round. So we can't do anything with those birds. Those were just demonstrative birds because this is the tutorial. Game end power. Discard 1 egg from each bird in this row and column. This is weird. It's a very interactive thing. They want me to click to cache all the things. I don't know if there's like a situation where I wouldn't want to cache all the things, but really wants me to do the most. Now you can see that it's counting down all of the nectar that's been spent in each of the different spaces. And we won in the forest. We did not win in the other 2 spaces, but we came in second here. So you can see that kind of going with the gray star and the gold star. Technically we won, but did we do much? We did not. Well, now it is time for us to try, spreading our wings on a new game. And I have changed in advance our portraits a bit so that we are taking advantage of some of the new Oceania. We've got like this parrot. This looks like a swan from Untitled, or this looks like a goose from the Untitled Goose Game, but like very angry. But I'm gonna go with the wizard koala, which I don't know what the story behind the wizard koala is, but I feel like there is one. And then there's this dapper penguin. There's also this like there's just, I mean, they're all great animals, right? But there's some that have stories. And so we're going to go with the stories. And that's just what's gonna happen there. Oh no, wait. He needs a different background. Where was he going? He was going to go to the ocean. Yes. Great. And now we have, so we don't see no goal. We haven't been struck by that lightning. We have food cost of your birds, but like mice and fish. Food cost of the played birds total. Birds worth less than 3 feathers, and then white no power. So we've got a mix. What do we have here? We do not have any Oceania ones. We have these two. Ethologist. And 1 habitat per power color. We do have... What's interesting is... So this is one of those things where I think they retconned a card. Because yellow is new to this pack, but it's an European expansion thing. So they changed the text on the card. I don't think that's how it's printed in the board game. But also platform builder, just classic platform builder. So what do we got here to work with? Neither of these is doing great with our original set because we have no platform. We have this. These two are doing well for that. I think we take those. Well, this one's actually way better than Platform Builder. Neither of these are specific to the expansion, but just having a moment here. If I have 2 different powers in there, I get the same benefit that Platform Builder gets from putting 4 different cards down. So that's what we're gonna do. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. And I need this and this. Yes. Now remember what we talked about beforehand. You can see if we look at the mat here, it's important for us to take a look at this real quickly. If you're familiar with the game, that this has changed a fair bit. In the original game, it was like 1 food, 1 food, 2 food. But I believe it was 2 eggs, 2 eggs, 3 eggs. Like, I don't think there was ever a 1 egg case. And it was 1 card, 1 card, 2 cards. Now, 2 cards, 2 food, but eggs have been pared back as well. A little bit. So there is a single egg situation, which can be tough because you're treading water if you're trying to put new birds out there in this second column. So just something to be aware of. What are we going to play first? Why not both? Well, it's because we need eggs. That's what. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that nectar and then I'm going to play I'm going to put this bird in here.
Eleonora's falcon. Eleonora of Arborea was the first European ruler to outlaw hunting bird nests in 1392.
1392, huh? And I'm going to switch back to this view. Now I want to lay an egg, just the one sad little egg, because my goal is to play 2 of these 2 up there up in the forest. Great. I appreciate you, Red Cross Build. Thank you for your service. Yes.
Red-eyed
Good.
vireo. Nearsighted vireos flock with other birds that make
I
noise
love
when predators are around.
red-breasted nuthatches. We had them in a suburb of Washington, in Seattle, where I lived. And they make this little meep meep sound all the time. It's and also they tend to like crawl up the sides of forest, like of trees upside down. It's just they're pretty silly. Anyway, we're going to spend this one solitary egg that we've laid.
Red-breasted nuthatch. These birds put resin around their nest opening to keep out attackers.
Now we need something to get us up to 2 eggs in the middle. So what's that going to be? Major Mitchell's cockatoo. That's exciting. This is a very Oceania bird. It's a popular parrot. Very fancy. Also very many points. Both of those are good. Now Spotted Towhee's going to help us with the bird's worth less than 3 activation. I don't love placing a 0, but it gives us some free food and it will help us with this.
These birds forage by hopping backwards to uncover insects and seeds in the leaf litter.
Now, we had a spotted towhee. We did not notice it hopping backwards particularly, but hey. So we still don't have, does anyone have, so I have one rat in my food cost. So that's how that's going. Wait. I wanted to reset. And then, well, I have 2 choices. I could try to gun for no, I don't really have 2 choices. I could just play Major Mitchell's. I'm not going to find another bird that's going to satisfy this. I'm just going to have to be happy with the one fish and hope nobody else plays a bird that satisfies that, which seems weird, but now where do I want this thing to go? Oh, I don't have any eggs. I can't play it anywhere. Okay. None of these have any opinion where I put the eggs. So that's what we're going to do. Oh, now I have wheat for days. We can start a bakery. Who knew that one rat would be enough to take the day on that particular goal? Not I. Now, I think we won't play it in the forest because we're still trying a variety of things there. So we would play it there. We want different power colors up north.
These cockatoos can form large nomadic flocks, but often forage in small groups.
So we have a white and a brown. Now, food cost of played birds. We can gun for this puffin. Or we could go for more of these small birds. That's a fun sound. Dice outside bird feeder. Oh, I guess an egg. It's interesting. Well, what will I do? It's weird that nectar's left over. Well, I wanted that fish, but I can't have that fish. But I could play 2 wheat instead of that fish. have so many wheat. Or I could just... take this fish and take this. And give the nuthatch more food. Maybe not the most strategic. I don't know. There we go. There we go, Puffin.
Atlantic puffin. Puffin's breeding areas are threatened by climate change.
Falcon. So we could. I don't. I'm torn because I feel like under most circumstances, I would choose the falconer. Because it just has an unlimited sense of up. Wetland data analyst. We've locked ourselves into descending, right? And it's gone from 95 to 53, and I don't think there's going to be that much more room because the wetland birds tend to be bigger. They're not a lot of small wetland birds. So even though we're playing Oceania Expansion, I feel like I have to go with Falconer. Because you didn't come to watch me play like a bad game, did we? Did we? I don't know. I would look to chat normally, but chat's not here. And... alright, we'll honor the spirit of the thing. Don't know if I love it, but that's what we're doing. More wheat. So how are we doing on food cost? Oh, really? Well, fine. How do you like that, competitor?
European bee eater. Honeybees make up approximately 3/4 of this bird's diet.
How do you like that? Well, I'm out of birds. Probably need some birds. This would have been great if I needed to get more points on the thing I didn't pick. But that's a bird. That's really good for our multiple powers one, though. So we like that a lot. Oh, and that's good for our other one. Hello. Now, we won't play that right away because it's a very, very small wetland bird. So maybe we can get another wetland bird to sub into the middle. But this is definitely going in our forest because that'll get us a third power. Rude! Rude playing another bird and tying us. Very rude. No respect. I will click to gain food. I want to reset that feeder. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, that drip. Listen to that beautiful drippy drip drip. The nuthatch is having a great time. Boy, that is a very industrious bird there. What with the... Ooh. So, first of all, I don't have enough eggs. Second of all, did we hear that bird? So many bird sounds right now. Great. Don't mind if I do. I don't want to give everybody that. Actually, everybody will have to live without wheat because you know what? They probably have enough. There is so much wheat out there. This is just the Midwest of games. So now can we play this very unique sounding bird? I feel like that bird bird is mad about existing. It's a mood. I had roofers last week that damaged my floor. And that is a bad situation for roofers. And I think I made that sound when I came into my house and I stepped on the Han Solo carbonite rug and it was wet. And it wasn't because Han had defrosted, but it was because there was a leak in my ceiling from roofers. That's neither here nor there, but that sound, that one, it's a mood, it's a moment.
Kakapo. This flightless nocturnal parrot is endangered. It only reproduces every 3 years or so.
Only every 3 years? That poor thing. And it's like a nocturnal, like it seems so helpless. It can only reproduce every 3 years. It's nocturnal and flight. What? Someone help that bird. Oh my God. All right, we need more water birds. Perfect. Well, our 76 centimeter isn't going to do it, but the other one, I think that's enough. I think we could play the 48 and... Oh, and look at this. He's perfect. We should play one of our 8 million wheats.
Ruddy duck. To display for mates, males slap their bluebills on their chests and run across the water.
It's not great from a points perspective, but it does help us here. I need more eggs. Don't skip. I don't want to give people stuff. I'm actually not giving people stuff. I'm not feeling generous. Again with the oh no, we didn't type. It's good. That bird with the sound. I can't. There's so many sounds of the birds in this expansion. Maybe they sound normal if you've heard them your whole life, but they just sound like they are in a mood. It's amazing. So are these... I don't think I... Can I play that? I don't think I have two... No, I don't... No, that doesn't go there. That goes there. Well, I guess I had 2 eggs. That's good.
Gold's finch, also known as Goldian finches. These birds are bred as pets, but are rare in the wild.
So this is descending, and so I should be getting 5 points for that. Good job. Oh. If I was really fancy, I could have done 5. If I had noticed that this guy was in there, but I didn't. It's fine. I have other things I need to do. Other things. Important things, like find other powers. I need other bird colors and stuff. These are just the same powers over and over again. How many cards do I discard? I think we're gonna discard this one. We only have 3 turns left. Who is going to go next? We have no eggs. We're tied for no... So I think it has to be one of these white and no power birds. The white-breasted wood swallow was a good pick. because then it will give us eggs to play another bird. Just bird sounds. I'm never gonna give you up any wheat, friends. I'm never going to do that. So, where were we? We were going to say you want to lay on all these birds. Yeah, okay.
White-breasted wood swallow.
Lay on all
These wood
those.
swallows often perch in a tightly packed row when at rest.
And then I can play this thing, which is also a white power. I don't like that. I don't, white and no powers. Like, yeah, you have to say it that way. White and no powers. So that is there. That.
Black-tailed godwit. These birds are protected from hunting in much of Europe due to population declines.
Wait, so I just get to keep this? I'm sorry, I get to keep this? I just drew that and I get 7 points for just drawing that one random card? I mean, I will take it. I don't know, these do me no good, but I will take that 7 points. I'll take the bitter bird. And there we go. Of course, we need more wheat. Yes. If somebody has a bird. Oh. I can play a bird at the end of the game. We have a game end power. I have 2 game end powers? Oh my god. Wow. Okay. And here's the thing. If I can place something into my forest right now, then I get more points on that victory card as well. And oh, these game end cards, they're doing it. They are doing the most. So I don't think I have enough to play this one, but I do have enough to play Carolina Chickadee. And we just need these last 2 eggs.
Carolina Chickadee.
And now
Seeds and
that
remember
other
thousands of hiding places.
one, I get 4 bonus points for that one. Did not win that one. Now win that one, but I did win the last one. Just so close, I edged you out, wizard. Now let's see the big reveal. All right. Bonus cards, we did well on bonus cards, yeah. End of round goals. Wow. I can't remember the last time I won by that much. And I mentioned earlier that this is the second time I've recorded this. I had done one before, and then I realized that my mic had been muted the whole time. And I won by 1 point. Yeah. So they were 2 very different outcomes on the games. But you know, but what we didn't get last time was that bird, the that bird, and that bird is going to stay with me in my heart. So yeah, that was epic. We the end of round goals really turned that for us. I mean, I think we would have won anyway, but at the same time, like, we drew one that gave us 7. Bird. And then we drew another one that gave us like four, eight. I don't, because it was like 2 per. So we might have got like a solid 15 or so just from the last turn and the goal cards. And we also got to play a bird. So that was like 2 points. So I don't know. We might have got, I don't think we got all of our winning points, but we did get a swing of 15 to 17 points at the very end. So, keep an eye out for those end of round or end of game cards, the yellow ones, because those are new to the expansion. Those and the nectars, right? When I played the previous round, that was the big thing, my big point that I was expounding on in the Darkness of Silence, was in that playthrough. The big thing was I won by 1 point, and my very last transaction before the end of the game, I made a big show of getting nectar for my final transaction, which caused me to win the nectar in the sea habitat, and I won by 1 point. So if I hadn't won that nectar, I would have lost the game. So it does matter. It's, the nectars are 3 more goals you got to track, and it's tough because you don't get little sound effects, I don't think, when nectar changes leadership, and you can tell when you're playing the real life game, people are like reaching over to the nectar thing, like, oh, I think leadership has changed. But so those are some things to keep in mind. Like the games can swing in a very different way with this new pack. Also, lots of new bird sounds for discovery and for joy. So we're definitely going to save that. And with that, I think it's time for us to close out our gaming session with each other. So if you enjoyed this journey, then I invite you in the new year, 2024, to join us with the Magic Mafia on Sundays on Twitch. You can find the address right here. And that's Sundays, 10 a.m. Pacific to 1 p.m. Pacific. We usually start with a half hour of puppetry, which is, of course, a normal thing that most variety streamers do. My puppets, Sprinkles and Mo, come, and we sort of do a talk show thing. And then at around 10:30, we begin the variety streaming for whatever we're deciding to play that day. And we could play a lot of different things. My community likes to buy random games for me and just see what happens. There's, we've been playing through the Legend of Carandia series, which was a childhood favorite of mine, but the first 2 age a lot better than the third one, I'll tell you right now. There's I did save the replays of the second one on Twitch if you want to see that. But yeah. But we also play Wingspan a fair bit, especially when we're looking to chill. We're just looking to bird and chill because as I mentioned, a big birder. I love birds of all kinds. I think they're silly. I think they're smart. I think they're great. And it's a lovely opportunity to learn more about them and learn their sounds, and then you can activate in nature and see them. Although I'm not gonna encounter many Australian birds in my travels anytime soon, it's still lovely to discover how the world is different in other places. And I want to thank the folks behind the game Wingspan for allowing me this opportunity to preview the game. It's a big honor. Like I have loved this board game ever since my friend gifted it to me from the Kickstarter. We've been big fans, me and my husband, for a very long time. So it's just exciting to see it thriving, both the board version, of which we have the big bird box now, and the digital version, which makes it a lot easier to play, where you don't have to set up. And the changes recently where you can have the same user ID for multiple, like when people are trying to play with you. There have been great improvements recently. Now, as always, I do want to remind everybody that I did get a free review copy for this, and so that disclosure is there, but I am sharing what I believe to be my honest opinion, and as a user experience designer, I will call out places where things seem a little bit wacky, but this is, this has gone pretty well, all things considered. I didn't find too many things that There's certainly complexities here. It's not as simple as the first couple of games, but if that is what you are looking for, you're prepared to go down the nectar path, by all means, come discover these wacky new birds and see how the wild, the balance of the game changes for you. And I hope that all of your birding adventures, whether they be game or otherwise, are good. And I hope to see some of you in the Magic Mafia sometime, out in our Discord or our live streams or somewhere in between. But until then, thanks for birding with us, and happy gaming.